Hello and welcome into today's edition of the Arizona State Sun Devils Insider Podcast. My name is Kevin Hicks and I'm the lead beat writer for Arizona State Sun Devils on SI, and I'm so grateful to be joining each and every one of you today. Uh, Day 2 of Arizona State Fall Camp wrapped up about 4 hours ago, and I am going to talk about the day that was, a day that head coach Kenny Dillingham was not too pleased with in terms of the passion and effort that was brought to the table and what to look for moving forward going into Camp Tontozona next week. Uh, Obviously, we are now exactly 30 days out from the start of the Arizona State season. They kick off August 30th against Northern Arizona. They are going to be a top 25 team in the preseason AP poll, and there is so much to look forward to in Tempe. The excitement is in the air, it's palpable, and it's been a blast even standing in the heat of the Arizona sun during the middle of the summer. So let's get started today talking about practice a little bit. So, I had the fortune of watching the offensive line, defensive line, and wide receiver groups for the most part today, and pretty run of the mill practice for offensive line and defensive line, in my opinion. At least when it came to position drills, and other activities that they were doing at both positions. Uh, Prince Dorba looked strong. Elijah O'Neal looked strong. The offensive line looks very beefed up, especially compared to last season. And there's not a lot more to say about those two groups. They were fine throughout most of practice. During the scram part of practice, the main event, as Coach Kenny Dillingham likes to say, where they run coverage practice for Sam Levitt to throw in the end zone, deep shots in the end zone. Noble Johnson made a very impressive grab in the end zone. He broke free on coverage. I believe, I don't want to get it wrong. I don't remember who was in coverage with him, but he broke free off of a nice release, got in the end zone, toe tap touchdown. That was impressive. Zachariah Sample was another wide receiver that was thoroughly impressive throughout day 2 of camp. Both two running backs were very much standouts. Raleek Brown and Kyson Brown both. Raleek Brown has continuously showed a next level burst. He's been reliable as a dump off option in the passing game. He's a great pass catcher, as Sun Devil fans that are in tune with him will know. Obviously, only played one game last season, but he is very talented. Former 4-star USC talent. So he very much could work his way into being maybe not feature back, but significantly more utilized than one would expect. Same with Kyson Brown. He has a next level gear as well. He's been a favorite of the fans, of the diehard section of the fan base, I'd say, for the last 2 seasons. Unfortunately for him, Cam Scadaboo really took the position by its horns, and we all know the rest is history there. But Kyson really is impressed over the first 2 days. Kamari Anderson at the tight end position. When you think of Arizona State's tight end position, you think of Chimon Mateer, who was all second team Big 12. In 2024, you think of AJ Ia, who is a 4-star, 6'6" freshman out of California. You think of him. You think of maybe Jaden Fortier, who is a 4-star recruit in the 2024 class. But Kamari Anderson has really built a nice rapport with Sam Levitt over the spring part of practice and through the first 2 days of fall camp. So, and lastly, I wanted to talk about Jordan Crook. Many of you have seen Kenny Dillingham's disgust with the output that the team provided in front of everybody that was present. That was the first thing he said during his media availability on Thursday, and the main person that he really made a point to point out when it comes to players that are playing with passion was Jordan Crook. He had nothing but positive things to say about Crook, and Brian Ward really backed up those sentiments during his talk with media directly afterwards. Crook has grown as a leader, he has grown as a player, and a kid that transferred from Arkansas to Arizona State after the 2023 season, after not receiving much playing time with the Arkansas program. Things couldn't be looking more up for Crook, and he is joining what could be the most talented group on the Arizona State roster from top to bottom. There are many positions that you can argue, but that is one that fans should be absolutely thrilled about, absolutely feeling secure with. And yeah. So I wanted to close out today's episode with some general observations on top of what I said about the offensive and defensive lines. So Sam Leavitt wasn't as sharp today as he was on Wednesday. He did put the ball in danger several times. As Coach Dillingham said after practice, there's only one interception that was thrown the entire practice. But there were at least 3 or 4 occasions where the ball was thrown into traffic and it could have easily been intercepted, deflected, etc. But Leavitt still looked good overall despite 3 or 4 shaky plays. He was still in command of the offense. He's still flashing his superb arm, still showing his ability to play out of structure at a high level. And yeah, Leavitt is ready for the season. There's no doubt in my mind. He is going to start the season with his boots running, and he's not going to look back, if you ask me. Jeff Sims, obviously the backup quarterback, the senior, lots of starting experience at Nebraska and Georgia Tech. He generally looks solid. There, same thing with Leavitt. There was a couple of instances where he put the ball in harm's way during the 7-on-7 portion of practice indoors. But overall, he made a really, really nice throw to Kamari Anderson, I believe it was, in the middle of the field. He's still showing his mobility, the ability to play out of the short game, and he's a solid backup. That's all I have to say there, really. And one of the main themes to close off today's episode was that the wide receiver room struggled with drops during practice. Jaron Hamilton dropped a catch in the red zone that would have been a touchdown had he held on. And Jordan Tyson dropped 3 passes, I believe it's maybe 4, during the duration of practice. And that has obviously been one of the major drawbacks from NFL scouts and college football analysts when it comes to Tyson's game. Everybody knows Tyson's a phenomenal wide receiver all around, but last season, I believe he dropped 8 or 9 uncontested catches. He can make every catch in the textbook, but the easiest ones sometimes aren't there, and I know and everybody knows that Jordan Tyson is an All-American talent. He's going to figure things out, but that you can't see that and say that it's not at least a minuscule concern going into the season, because we saw what happened in the Cincinnati game. There were so many drives that were stalled by miscommunication, by sloppy blocking, by anything in between, and those little mistakes end up building up over the course of the game, stalling momentum and all that. And Tyson is as great of a playmaker as they come in the collegiate game. Obviously, Jeremiah Smith and Brian Williams are above him. That's fine. He's still a first-round NFL draft pick in 2026. He's still one of the premier playmakers in the country, and he will put things together, but right now it's still a work in progress for Arizona State. As Kenny Dillingham said, the passion wasn't necessarily there in day 2, but there were still positive things to take out of it, and let's see if day 3 yields any better results for the Sun Devils. Once again, thank you so much for tuning in today. Your support means the world to me. Please follow me on X/Twitter at khicks_21 if you get the opportunity to do so. I have been very active in posting video and story content today. So please give me a follow, and I will see you tomorrow.